Welcome to the Sustainable Living Podcast. Tips, tools, and tactics for living a heart-centered life that honors Mother Earth and her inhabitants. The information shared on the Sustainable Living Podcast reflects the opinions of host Marianne West, Jenise Fryatt, and their guests. Please use your own discretion and research before applying any information to your individual situation. Now, here are your hosts, Marianne and Jenise.
Hi, I'm Jenise Fryatt.
I'm Marianne West.
And welcome to the Sustainable Living Podcast.
Exactly. And it's both of us together live.
Yay, for a change. We like that. We wish we could do it more, but again, Mariana lives in San Diego and I live here in Big Bear City. So she decided to come up for a visit and we're taking advantage of that right now.
Exactly. It's beautiful up here. So your listeners won't be able to see it, but I'm going to do a quick turnaround so you see where we are sitting because we're outside. Mm-hmm. And do you see those mountains? Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's a little hazy though. I think that's some of the fire smoke coming from all those fires in Northern California.
Yeah. And then here we're looking out over the garden.
Everything is dead because we hit freezing temperatures about a month and a half ago.
Which is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I have been sitting at 100 degrees, all of that stuff.
Yep.
So we're back. But this is the view Jenise has every morning to do her yoga in. And for those of you which are just listening, we're looking out over beautiful mountains. It's a bluish sky. It's not blue, like Jenise said, it's a little bit hazy today, but it's just really gorgeous. And I got to do yoga out here on the patio this morning. Yeah. And it was freezing at night. So Jenise turned on her wood fire stove in the morning. Yep. And being the Southern California beach type temperature person, I was sitting inside by the fire and Jenise disappeared. And then she came back in with a big sleeping bag. And what did you do, Jenise?
I was meditating. Okay, so I don't know if any of you have ever thought of this, but I really enjoy meditating outside. I love the sounds of nature and I love the smells and I just love being outside when I meditate. So I decided a while ago that I was just going to do it no matter what and do whatever it took. And so for me, that was getting a sleeping bag, sometimes getting a hot water bottle, getting an extra blanket, and then I just get in there and I cozy up and I sit on my meditation cushion and I meditate for anywhere from 20 minutes to over an hour. And it really, really has helped me in many, many ways. And that's how I do it. I highly recommend it to all of you.
Yeah, and that's how she came in with a warm water bottle. I just loved that. That was so cool. So we are up here because tomorrow we are actually going to be co-teaching at the Big Bear Yoga Festival. And you will get this episode today. It's not going to be super edited. So this is just raw, a raw episode this time, you guys. Yes. And of course, we are doing a YouTube live at the same time. But we are looking at the microphone a lot, so sorry, guys. So maybe you can see the microphone a little bit more.
Is it YouTube or Instagram? Or
no.
Facebook? Facebook. It's Facebook.
See, here's our microphone.
Okay.
It's Facebook. There are just way too many social media channels to keep all track of them all.
Yeah, but one day soon we are going to do a YouTube live.
Yes. So that's one of the things we talked about, what we want to do with our podcast.
Yes.
And I think someone soon, and we don't want to make any promises because we are both still kind of running a little bit on overwhelm and needing to sit back and kind of assess what it's possible because I'm sure you all know that it's great to have all these ideas and say, oh, I want to do this and this and this. But the reality is we have so many hours in the day and the best plans or the best ideas can take a lot of time. And sometimes the best idea is to just not do it, not do something, you know?
Yes. So, and hopefully if you're in that position, you have someone like my dear friend Mariana who can take over for you. Because if you haven't noticed, I haven't really been on the podcast as of late. For a month and a half, almost 2 months now, I've been dealing with my mom who was living with me for 3 months and then I just got her into an assisted living place. And, at first when she was here, I thought it was fine and, it wasn't going to be that big of a deal. But, as the weeks went on, I found that I became overwhelmed and lost a lot of my energy and just, it was a struggle to try to keep up a lot of things. I thank goodness Marianne, she offered to cover for me for the time that I needed to take. And so that was very helpful. I also quit teaching yoga for a few weeks. And so, yeah, I just, it's funny how often you just don't realize the effects sometimes people have on you. And, our family, we all have issues and cords of attachment and things that, trigger us. And so when we're in our 50s or 60s or whenever, and our parents start to get older, lots of times we end up having to confront things that we didn't confront when we were younger.
Or we think we already dealt with it.
Yes,
and then
yes.
having like a constant presence of somebody just brings a lot of stuff up again.
Yes.
And, with any kind of up-leveling or getting more aware, it's one of my teachers always puts it like, we're never done.
Yeah.
It's like an onion. You keep peeling an onion and then there's another layer and there's another layer.
Yeah.
And it's all good learning experiences.
Yes, as long as you take it that way. I think a lot of times we can be defeated by these situations, but if we see them as opportunities for learning, then they can be a jumping off point. And for me, the lesson was all about taking care of myself. When you take care of other people, you want to stay compassionate and really help them, but you can't do it if you can't take care of yourself. So and a lot of times that means putting up some boundaries. So that's what I believe my lesson was with my mom. And I've made some progress, I've definitely made some progress, but
well, and taking care of yourself also, part of it is to allowing help in, because I think a lot of us, we feel like, I need to be able to do that. It's not a big deal, and sometimes it's not so much the physical work, which is draining, but it's emotional work or just, so many, like in your case, paperwork and trying to find out things and running against agencies and all of those things can be so draining. It's probably more exhausting than swinging a hammer all day.
Right.
When you're tired in your body, it's a different kind of exhaustion as when you're tired in your mind. And so I'm so pleased that you were able to allow help in and not go, I should be able to do the podcast. I should be able to do this. I should be able to do that. But to say, I need to take care of myself and rest.
And you find that if you're dragging and you're not excited about what you're doing, you're not doing your best work, I knew, my work wasn't suffering at that point, I don't think, but I think it was just a matter of time, it would have been at some point, because I just didn't have it in me, so it's important to take care of yourself so that you can have that excitement about what you're doing.
Absolutely. And I think it is a time where we all need to take care of ourselves. With turning on the news is enough to just drive anybody crazy. And it has an emotional toll, and I think we all suffer a little bit from post-traumatic stress syndrome, even if the fire wasn't right next to it, or the flood wasn't right next to it, or the shooting wasn't right next to it. There's always that possibility that it could happen, and I think we feel the suffering of everybody around us. So in times like that, I believe it's even more important to take care of ourselves so we don't take the stress out on others. I'm not saying on a conscious level. I don't think any of you guys listening or Jenise or I would go around and start hitting people over the head or anything like that. But just on subtle ways, to be just irritated easier with someone. And, that's all ways of discharging the frustration we all might be feeling, or the stress, or whatever we want to call it. So this self-care, and I think I have been going through a theme lately where for some reason people I have been able to interview for the podcast all were in the theme of healthcare.
Yeah. I was listening to your podcast, and I was saying so appropriate for me, and I know for a lot of other people, to learn not just how to take care of yourself, but the importance of it. Lots of times, like you said, we don't even know how important it is to make that a priority.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think like of the latest podcast with Emily, I was talking to her about tiny house, and it really turned out that we talked a lot about self-care and how moving to the tiny house gave him the freedom to take care of their own health and to follow their bliss and all of that stuff. So it's really funny how you sometimes approach some subject and you think, oh, I'm just going to talk about, move to a tiny house. I'm talking about does it feel like to get rid of things. And we ended up really talking about the benefit to your emotional and mental and physical health. Yeah. So that was kind of funny. But we have exciting other guests coming up, like Joel Salatin will be on our show. And
Did you guys catch that? Joel Salatin. Joel Salatin. That is a very, very big name in homesteading and self-sufficiency, permaculture. The man is a living legend, and Marianne is going to be interviewing him soon, so you don't want to miss that.
Yeah, so we are going back to some of the farming and permaculture and agricultural themes, which are really part of our sustainable living idea as well. So one other thing, I think today it's going to be a little bit of a shorter podcast, partly because we still have to get ready for our classes tomorrow.
By the way, I don't know if we made that clear. We are going to be doing a couple of sessions at the Big Bear Yoga Festival tomorrow. So we're kind of excited. Marianne is going to be teaching her wonderful laughter yoga class, which if you guys ever have the opportunity, you don't want to miss that. Wow, it's a real vibration raiser. It really is.
It really is. And actually, I haven't told you that yet, but I'm getting better with figuring out tech, which has been, a big holdup for me to have to learn everything from like baby steps up. But once I have things figured out a little bit more, then I think I want to do little laughter yoga sessions on video and then, share those with you guys. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. And then maybe if we figure out that whole Google Hangout, YouTube, or whatever thing, we can do a live with everybody.
Okay, so you guys, you hear that? If you're interested in this, if you might want to partake in a laughter yoga session online, let us know so we can give Marianne encouragement to follow through and do this.
Yeah. It would be fun. Laughter yoga is so much fun.
Yeah.
And, just to go back to the Big Bear Yoga Festival, it's late notice. This is already Friday afternoon. But if you are living close by, it's free, and you just register via Facebook. And there's going to be so many different teachers. It's really fabulous.
Yeah.
So
a lot of my friends, and you can ask for a better setting to come up and be in nature and do yoga and meet awesome people. Yeah, so if you have time, check it out. You can go online, just go to Big Bear Yoga or Big Bear Yoga Festival. I think both of those sites have information about it. And join us.
Yeah, and it's on Facebook.
We are also going to be teaching a permaculture session, which is going to be a little new for the Big Bear Yoga Festival. But that's what they asked us. Annalisa who is organizing it and started Big Bear Yoga with Annalisa Burns and Lisa Ann Goldman. No, Gold. Lisa Ann Gold. Gosh, because I have another friend, Lisa Goldman. So I get very confused. But Lisa Ann Gold and Annalisa Burns. Is that not confusing?
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Those two were the ones that started Big Bear Yoga Festival. And she knew that I'm out here doing homesteading and I do the podcast with Marianne. So she said, would you teach a little permaculture class? So we'll see who shows up.
Yeah, we still shows up. We're in a small room, so
Yeah.
probably not too many people.
Yeah, which is good. A small room is good. That way it
Yeah.
doesn't look so empty. But if you guys are around and you want to support us, you could come. It's free.
Yeah, and we might be able to video it.
Yeah.
So, and then we can share it. And so we are going to start sharing things on DTube. And you guys go, what the heck is DTube?
Yeah.
So do you want to tell them? Do you want me to
You should tell 'em.
Okay, I tell them. I tell you guys. So I have been getting... by one of our listeners, actually, Cheryl, and Cheryl, pronounce your last name,
Vaught.
please.
Cheryl Vaught, who, by the way, was the one who caught my son when he was born, when she was a midwife apprentice.
Yes, and she is wonderful.
Yes.
So she told us about Steemit, which is a social media platform, kind of similar to Facebook, but, new. It just kind of got started, so there are no groups, there are no any of that. But the caveat is that you can earn cryptocurrency by posting there. And if you don't know what cryptocurrency is, I'm kind of new to that too. But Jenise has a line on a person to come on and do a podcast with.
Just letting you know, guys, I bought my first Bitcoin like 2 or 3 years ago at $380 for one Bitcoin. Oh, it has gone up to, it's past $5,000 now. Last time I looked, it was like $5,300 for one Bitcoin. So just letting you know, it's going to go up and down. It's very volatile, but the general trend is up. And for those of you who don't know what this is, the basic idea is it's a digital currency. It's also known as a cryptocurrency. And it is created on what's called a blockchain, which is a decentralized way of creating currency. So we take the hands out of central bankers and put it into a system where one person can't control it or manipulate it. It's basically an open ledger. So every transaction on the blockchain can be seen. It's transparent. So you can't hide things the way that you can with our current system. And I'm doing it a disservice by probably not giving you the best explanation, but many, many people believe this is the future of our monetary system, as well really as our future. The blockchain can be used for many, many other things besides cryptocurrencies. And so I highly recommend that you do a little research and check it out. Look up cryptocurrency, look up Bitcoin, go on YouTube, and you will find videos that will explain it in a much better way than I have right now. But what Marianne is doing on Steemit, they make their own cryptocurrency, right?
It's called Steem.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can trade it and you can buy Bitcoin for it, or you can then eventually turn it into regular US dollars.
Right. And just to be clear, Steem is very much like the platform that Mariana and I met on, which was Sue. And the basic premise was when you post content, you get paid. You get something for the content based on how popular it is, whatever. They have different algorithms, but Steemit will pay you in their own cryptocurrency, and that cryptocurrency can be traded in for other cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin.
Right. That's it in a nutshell. And there is people are developing things around there all the time, and one of the things, it's DTube. So it's decentralized, so it's in your own hands. And lately what happened on YouTube is a lot of people got demoted,
censored,
censored,
demonetized.
Yeah, or their accounts, disappeared, which is really not an issue for us since our our YouTube account has 37, maybe 39 followers.
Yes, but to me, this is a very big issue, and we like to support things that we feel good about, and I don't like any platform that feels it's okay to censor people in an arbitrary fashion. Really, I mean, it's not like they're just censoring violence or sex or anything. They're censoring political content that they don't agree with. So and other things. So,
but that's taking it way out of the context we were going to bring it in right now. I think for me, the important thing is that blockchain and cryptocurrency has come at me now from many different ways, including mainstream media. And I believe for all of us who want to have a more sustainable life, and I think this is something we have been talking about from the very beginning, is a certain amount of freedom of being independent from outer forces, so to speak. It's like, why do we have our own chickens? So we know what kind of eggs we're eating, or even said we are eating. We have eggs to eat, and growing much or some of our own food, and looking in alternatives for energy and so forth. So that's just another part of that puzzle to become more independent from mainstream, whatever you want to call it, systems or whatever. Yeah. And so we do want to support the idea of DTube. Everything is still small. Everything is in the beginning, but that makes it exciting. Yeah. And I think when Jenise talked about Zoo, the exciting thing of that platform was that a lot of people were on which were thinking outside of the box because they were trying something new. Mm-hmm. And I think Steemit has that same feel right now. That it's just full of alternative thinkers and so forth. And that's something we like. And so we thought we tell you about it, and
and Mariana is like a big deal on Steemit now.
No, I'm not.
She is. She's doing contests and making money, and she's posting all the time. So you guys have to go on there and check out what she's doing.
I'm just having fun. Yeah, well, I'm a big deal, of course. Yeah. So Jenise, basically, we wanted to keep it short and sweet today. Mm-hmm. Is there something else you would like to tell everybody before we say goodbye for today?
Well, I just wanted to say that I'm kind of excited about getting back into the podcast. I'm thinking about different people that I can interview and different kinds of shows that we can do. I'm very excited. I know we're living in very difficult times right now. You, like Mariana said, you turn on the news and it just it's too many horrible things happening at one time. I, personally believe that it's chaos that some good things are going to come out of eventually. I think we have to look at some things before we can move past them. But on the other side of this is some really cool stuff. People are really thinking out of the box. People are really thinking how we can recreate our system and our world so that it better serves all of us, and so that we can collaborate, and so we don't have so much oppression and poverty and icky things that we have right now. And those are the people that I want to reach out to and really talk to, so that we can continue to help you see that more beautiful world that all of our hearts know is possible. So if you guys have any ideas, please, I would love it if you would drop me a line. You can just respond to us on Facebook at our Facebook page, Sustainable Living Podcast. You can, what are the other ways that we can reach? You can get us on Instagram, Twitter. We're just reach out to us on social media is probably the best thing to do right now.
Yeah, there, and then email sustainablelivingpodcast@gmail.com, or either Jenise at sustainablelivingpodcast.com or Marianne at sustainablelivingpodcast.com. And you guys, we have a website where we post a blog post for every single episode we put up. Yeah. And then we also post some other stuff up there.
So you can contact us there as well. Contact, again, for both Mariana and I, we really would love to hear your input. Thoughts you have about what we've done, but really I would love to hear any ideas you have for future podcasts, especially things that help us to see what our world can be instead of, the stuff that we don't like about what it is right now.
Yeah, so we're trying to bring mostly positive solutions towards here. I think there are enough people which go, everything is terrible. So we don't want to be that voice. We want to be the voice of, what can we do instead?
Right,
What is the small little steps we can do instead? So,
yeah, or even big steps.
Yeah.
I want to hear big, grandiose things. Tell me the most amazing way that this world can be that we haven't even thought of.
right.
So.
And how to get there.
Yep.
Yep. Excellent.
So that's it.
More?
No, I thought that's all I had to say. I love you guys. Happy to be back, and look forward to talking to you in the future.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that Jenise is here with us. So it makes me smile all over. And if you see the video, you see that smile. Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.